Hello, I'm Matthew, since Roxanne is ill, and James the first not available, so today, I'm going to recap the 2023 action-adventure fantasy anime called Campfire Cooking in Another World with My Absurd Skill Episode 4. But before that, it's my humble request to every person who is watching this, please like this video and share it with your friends. It will only take a second for you guys to like this video, but for Roxanne, it will help this video reach out to more people, and make her get more views on her channel. While enjoying the grilled chicken with a lemon butter sauce on it, Fel asks the reason behind this yummy dish. Mukoda informs him that the trick behind this tasty dish is simple. It has to be cooked slowly, starting with the skin, so it gets crispy. He then asks Fel if he uses magic to hunt the monsters, to which Fel confirms this and states that he also uses claws and fangs, but to beat many weaklings in one go, using magic is more efficient. He also reveals that he is good at wind magic, which has the blessing of goddess Nanrir. Shocked, Mukoda states that this is the first time he has seen real magic, but Fel jokingly corrects him that the barrier he put on him was also made by magic. He also tells Mukoda that he can use magic as long as he has mana. Hearing this, Mukoda activates his appraisal and sees that he is also blessed with magic. When asked how he can use it, Fel informs him that if he wants to use wind magic, he just has to spell it out. And the same applies if he wants to use fire magic. Determined, Mukoda gathers some courage and calls out a spell called Fireball, but to his embarrassment, the magic did not appear. Seeing this, Fel jokingly makes fun of him and asks what he is doing. He then informs him that in order to cast a magic spell, he must circulate the mana flow in his body. When asked what mana flow is and how he can activate it, Fel gets in front of him and asks him to touch his body, as this will help him feel the mana flow circulating in his body. As he touched the body, he felt something warm flowing in his body. Fel tells him to never let go of this feeling, as this will help him create a magic spell with his own magic. As Mukoda starts using his magic, he comes to realize that he is very weak and can't use powerful magic like Fel. Faye tells him that since he just started training, which is good for beginners, he needs to use his magic in a real battle to gain more strength. Mukoda informs him that he can't even wield a sword on his hands, so how can he fight a real monster? And besides this, he does not like getting injured, which is painful and scary. Hearing this, Fel gets angry and picks him up before leaving the area in a hurry. They reached a nearby residence that was filled with lots of goblins. He tells him that since these are low-level goblins, it will help him test his strength, and asks him to shoot the fireball at them. Scared at the number of goblins, Mukoda tells him that he can't do it as there are so many goblins and his strength is so low that he can't even fight with a single goblin. Hearing this, Fel calls him a coward and hits out a big roar, informing the goblins of their location. As goblins begin to pursue Mukoda, Fel tells him that in order to save his life, he must fight with his magic abilities, otherwise, he will be killed at the hands of goblins, even informing him that if the high-ranking goblin arrives, he will take care of it. As Fel leaves him at the mercy of goblins, Mukoda thinks that he has no choice but to fight and begins to attack goblins with a fireball. Since the fireballs are on par with low-level goblins, they begin to hurt goblins who fall unconscious. Seeing this, Mukoda tries to run away but falls to the ground when his foot gets hit by a stone. The goblins approach him and begin to attack him with their swords, but to his surprise, he is saved by the barrier that was early put on him by Fel. He realized that he must attack goblins, otherwise, they won't leave until they kill him. He then shoots more fireballs at them, killing most of them on the spot. As more goblins approach him, he activates a more powerful fireball spell and hits them with it, causing a massive explosion in the forest. However, he gets unconscious and falls to the ground as he runs out of energy. The remaining goblins try to kill him, but Fel arrives and kills them on the spot. After waking up from his unconsciousness, Fel asks about his experience in the fight against goblins. Mukoda informs him that it was a nightmare, but Fel praises his last attack, which was amazing, even telling him that his magic level has also increased. Hearing this, Mukoda checks the status and confirms it. To celebrate his success, Fel brings a high-ranking goblin king and informs him that this goblin king has a magic stone and will increase his magic power. He also tells him that goblins are inedible and of no use to him, but he went to the trouble just to bring them for him. Shocked, Mukoda wonders what is going on. Suddenly, Fel asks him that since magic stones can be sold for money, he should treat him with food from another world as a reward. Angered, Mukoda denies his request and informs him that they still have some money and meat left from the last sale, so no treat in the meantime. Since he's hungry and hasn't eaten anything in the last few hours, he asks Mukoda to give him something to eat. Mukoda gets up but suddenly falls to the ground and begins to feel sluggish, realizing that he must have run out of mana. He then orders some melon bread with butter from online supermarket and begins to eat with each other. As Fel asks for more, Mukoda tells him that eating too much sugar can cause him diabetes or tooth decay, and he won't be able to eat meat anymore. Fel informs him that he was blessed with the wind goddess Ninrir, which means any kind of poison, disease, or anomaly has no effect on him. He also informs him that he was born with the innate ability, but with the help of Ninrir, he was able to use it even better, even recalling that it is not easy to receive such a blessing. Jealous, Mukoda yells out to the sky and asks Ninrir for her blessing, to which she simply smiles. The next day, as they reach the new city, the people are horrified to see Fenrir alongside Mukoda, even recalling him as a great wolf. The guards of the city pursue him, but Mukoda gives them his guild card, revealing that Fenrir, whom they are recalling as a great wolf, is his familiar. The leader of the guards informs him to be careful while visiting the city, and if his familiar goes berserk, he will be responsible for that and can be sentenced to death or slavery. Angered, Fel tries to inform them that he is not a great wolf but a Fenrir, but Mukoda shuts him up. Suddenly, he hears Fel's voice on his head, asking him to tell them that he is a Fenrir. Shocked, Mukoda wonders what is going on, to which Fel informs him that this is telepathy, which means he can use it to communicate with the person he signed the familiar contract with. After that, they enter the new city and rent a room for themselves. Since he is traveling without a map, he heads towards the library of the city to buy a map and leaves Fel in the house. He checks out 2 of the famous libraries in the city but finds nothing about the map. Arriving late at the house, Fel, who is feeling angry and hungry at the same time, asks Mukoda to give him something to eat. Hearing this, he opens the online supermarket and buys cockatrice grilled on skewers and battered and fried meat in oil. As Fel begins to enjoy the tasty meat, Mukoda prepares a rice dish for himself. Dip the pork loin cutlet in sauce, cover it with rice, and then enjoy it, calling it a golden trio of white rice, sauce, and pork loin cutlet. Seeing this, Fel tells him to share a yummy dish with him, as he is still hungry. The next morning, Mukoda visits a nearby tavern that is filled with adventurers. He asks one of the groups for their help, but they deny him, until Mukoda buys them a couple of drinks. He then introduces himself as a traveling merchant who came from the kingdom of Rhaesigr. Hearing this, the adventurers inform him that ever since the current king of the Rhaesigr kingdom rose, the country has become bad news, and they won't stop their territorial expansion and wage wars all over the place. Hearing this, Mukoda thinks that these adventures are pretty handy, and he knows everything about other kingdoms too. So he tells them that he is looking for a map that will help him travel around the world. Suddenly, one of the adventurers shows him a map, informing him that this map is made of precious paper and was given to him by an ex-adventurer. He then tells him that he can give him this map, but it will cost him 1 gold coin. Hearing this, Mukoda thinks for a bit, but then decides to buy it with a gold coin. As they leave the tavern, other adventurers begin to laugh about the incident. When asked what's wrong, the adventurer informs him that they have the same map, which can be bought for 1 silver coin from the Adventurer Guild. Feeling embarrassed, Mukoda thinks about his 1 gold coin and heads to the new city with Fel. And this brings the anime to an end. Comment for part 5. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss out on another video. Until next time, take care.